Today, I'd like to talk about what's been going on with the Trump administration holding up documents which Judicial Watch has been requesting. In the past, having the Obama administration dodge questions and obstruct justice with the Benghazi documents and with the information pertaining to the IRS illegally targeting members of the GOP and the emails that were deleted and the runarounds that were given, one can almost accept that as par for the course in politics, because you have the opposing political parties. But whenever you have a Trump administration who is now allegedly in charge and his own appointees, i.e. Jeff Sessions, turns around and is stonewalling or not assisting minimally with Judicial Watch in obtaining information that goes back to not only what's going on right now with the emails that were deleted, but also traipsing all the way back to 1986 and the WhitewateR episode with Hillary Clinton, in which she then too miraculously got rid of information. It's a pattern. While she's out there traipsing around, promoting her book deal, doing her nostril breathing exercises, and complaining that everyone, including you, are to blame for her not winning this election, when all of these lies have been propagated about Russia's interference and all of this other stuff, and now North Korea, the war knocking at the door. And all the while, we have the ability to have information given to us. It's out there. It's not destroyed, because I think people do keep it, if for no other good reason, but for blackmail. But why isn't Trump addressing this? I cannot help but to keep my feelers very acutely astute to what he's doing right now, because see, days, yes, things take time, but days turn to weeks, weeks turn to months, and here we are knocking at the door of a year, and the drain the swamp becomes absolutely meaningless. Drain the swamp becomes absolutely meaningless whenever we have people like Mueller who are trying to impeach and jail the President of the United States. I mean, it's so convoluted. It's so absolutely convoluted. There's absolutely no reason why Judicial Watch cannot get the information that they want. Now, of course, I will post links in the description box to what I'm speaking about. As of today, Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch, come out and was discussing his frustration with the Trump administration. Those who are supposed to be allegedly on the side of draining the swamp and getting Washington cleaned up, who aren't doing any better than the previous administrations. Where are the lines of the deep state? Are we all, is it all the deep state? Is every single person the deep state? Who is taking orders from who? Surely, with all the recording that's going on, and with all the eavesdropping, that Clapper says doesn't happen. What a liar he is. Links in the description box for him. This man lies, No, there's no one being targeted. No, there's no surveillance being had. Oh, yes, well, yes, then there is. Oh, and then he just denies he ever knew. No, there was no wiretapping. Oh, yes, well, now it's possible. What bold-faced lies? Oh, well, I just didn't know. How easy it is for people just to claim ignorance. certain people just to claim ignorance when they're caught in lies. So yes, we know who some of the deep state people are, I would guess. Who do they get their orders from? Why isn't Comey being prosecuted? Why isn't Loretta Lynch being prosecuted? Why isn't Hillary fucking Clinton being prosecuted? This is absolutely insane. I mean, does anybody else feel as fucking frustrated about it as I do? I mean, I can't sit here but do so many takes of it just to reiterate it because of audio visual equipment failure. I feel like we pay our taxes, we elect people, there should be a job being done. Yes, there's always going to be an undercurrent of fraud and manipulation, but damn it, shouldn't there be somebody doing their fucking job? I believe Judicial Watch is trying, and they're out there drowning. Has Trump jumped ship? Has he decided to be a swamp creature? What is going on? Is he that inundated or has entrusted the people below him that much regarding what's going on to tell him and inform him of what's important? I mean, I tweet to him. But I think that, they were onto something with the child sex trafficking, which was going to take down probably 75% of Washington. I think 75% of Washington was going to be wrapped up, seriously, one way or come another, in this child sex trafficking, whether it would be judges, which they started nailing some people, or lawyers, judges, politicians, international people, congressmen, everything. Is there blackmail material on everyone? Okay, so who's holding the files? I have a hard time believing it's the Clintons holding the files because there's so much shit on them. But clearly, there's someone holding cards over people's heads. Because we have this information, and no one is able to disseminate it. And when they finally do, like Comey did, and come on and said, yes, Clinton did this, no one will prosecute her. And then it's just, let's wash our hands of it. And I'm sorry, yes, there are important things on the horizon. Some may say, Anna, just quit bitching about, Hillary Clinton, with this North Korea issue. But this is what is propagated. This is what is created. One more crisis after another. These crises are committed, I believe, to distract. Yes, sure, crisis comes up in real life too. But I believe that there's more sinister things going on in the background. There are. I think that we should all, as Americans, be completely disgusted by the fact that a group like Judicial Watch, who is trying to get to the bottom of the truth, cannot do it because they're being stonewalled. I mean, we have to figure out what is our next step. What is our next step? If the President of the United States, Donald Trump, cannot drain the swamp and refuses to allow people to carry out justice, if the Department of Justice continues to be as corrupt as it is, what is our next step? Besides going into World War III. Because I believe that is what their finger is on. The deep state has their finger right on there. If we get a little too out of line, that's where it's going to be taken. Fuck it. It's going to happen one way or another, or so it seems. It seems like this is what was always on the cards. This is what was always in the history to be happening. We've got to get something out of this. If the Justice Department can't be cleaned up, then we've nothing. Then we're no better than any sort of communist regime, dictatorship. And I guess if that's the way it is, then we all should just know what a lie we have in front of us to believe anything else. I'm sorry this message is so dreadful. I would like it to be more positive than that. But I'll go ahead and post a bunch of links in the description box, and go ahead and tell me, who do you think belongs to the deep state? Alright. Have a good weekend.